أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبودا فإن آمنا بعضكم بعضا فليؤد الذي تؤمن أمانته وليتق الله ربه ولا تكتموا الشهادة ومن يكتمها فإنه آثم قلبه والله بما تعملون عليم. Dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I recited Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat number 283. In this ayat, Allah tells us that when we are on a journey, during that time, if we need money and if we have no any money but we need it, then we have to request someone to give it. But the other person who is just to give the money, he wants to keep some valuable thing. Yeah, he wants to pledge valuable from us. Then he or she is willing to give some money. So then it is allowed according to Islam that we have to leave valuable with that person and get money in order to fulfill our needs. And whenever we have the money, then we have to go to repay to that person and take our valuable back. Similarly, if sometime this happen that if you request someone that I want some money, but the person says, okay, I want valuable just to pledge it, then I will be able to give you money. But sometimes the personality of the person, or you can say the inside the heart, everything is controlled by Allah. So if the person say, oh, no problem, I don't want to keep any valuable from you, I want to give you just having trust in you. Then if the person is just to give money without keeping, without pledging any valuable, then the person who has been trusted, so he must pay the money back as soon as possible. Similarly, the other thing which is in this ayat, that when we have to be witness of something, then if we are called, then we should say the truth. We should not hide anything from the witness. So if someone is just to hide anything, then the heart of the person is sinful, and that is the biggest sin of the heart. And then heart loses the Allah's love, because and Allah's the special mercies and blessings not fall on that type of heart which is involved in the sin of witness, like the person who is not to tell the truth of the witness, so his heart becomes so much dirty, sinful, filthy. So Allah's special mercies and blessings never fall on that heart. So this way, whatever we are doing, Allah knows everything. So this way we have to read this one, we will understand more better, inshallah. So Allah said, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ, and if you are ala safarin, on a journey. If you are on a journey, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ ala safarin, if you are on a journey, walam tajidu, like if you need money there, and because for the money, when you want to take money from someone as a loan, then you have to write agreement, document, written agreement need. So if there is no one, you can't find the person who can write that one. And even the other possibility, the person who is giving money that don't want the written agreement, but that person wants only the something valuable from you, like pledging something from you, then on the basis of that the person is willing to give you money. So this is the situation here. Allah said, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, and when you are on a journey, وَلَمْ تَجِدُوا, and if and you are not to find the person, katiban, who is writer, who is scribe writer, like if a person who can write down, if you not find that one, farihanum makbuda, farihanun, then pledge in hand your valuable. So farihanun, and you have to pledge, mean you have to keep that thing to give that one to the person who is giving you money. So that will stay under custody of that person. So unless you have to pay back. So farihanum makbuda. So you have to give your valuable in the occupation of that person who is giving you money. So this way, this is the one condition that Allah told in this ayat. So second is fa'in amina, and if one person has trust in other, fa'in amina ba'dukum ba'dan, Allah said, when like if a person who can trust, like some people they trust other people also, so same like that, like if a person who has trust in someone, like for example you are on the journey and you request someone to take money because your money shortage, you have problem, you request money to someone, and the person said, I don't want to keep your valuable, I don't want to pledge in hand of your valuable, I just only like trust in you, and I give you without pledging anything, I want to give you money, no problem, you are a good person, I like you. Then this is Allah told us in this part of the ayat about that. So Allah said, fine amina, and if someone entrusted ba'dukum ba'dan, like some people they trust in other people also, falyu'addi allazi tumina, then it is essential, it is compulsory for the person to have to look after the interest of the person, and he has to repay the money, so whatever he has got from that person. فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي تُؤْمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ. So if one of you entrust another, then let him who is entrusted discharge his trust faithfully. So it means he has to give back whatever he got from that one. وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّهُ. And he must have fear of Allah. So Allah who is his Lord. So must have fear of Allah. It means the person who got something, some amount of money from someone, and that someone has given money, just having the trust in that person, and he has not pledged anything, any valuable of that person, and just he has given only the money on the basis of trust in. So this way, if that person has trust in that person, so Allah said, then this person who got money from him, he should pay back to that person also, and he must have the fear of Allah, that if he is not to pay that, Allah will ask him. And this way Allah is the Rabb. Rabb mean the Lord, and who is giving you all the needs. So this way is using the word Rabb here, it tells us that if a person is not to pay back, then his income will decrease, something will happen to that person, because Allah has used the word Rabb here. Rabb is like all the things which are given to the person in order to fulfill hunger needs of a person. So there will be shortage of that one possible if a person is not to pay back. So this way Allah said, Wal yattaqillaha, and must have the fear of Allah. So they have to and understand that the Allah who is his Lord. Then Allah said the next third situation in this ayat, وَلَا تَكْتُمُ الشَّهَادَةَ, and you are not to hide the witness. You are not to conceal the evidence. وَمَنْ يَكْتُمْهَا, and anyone or whoever conceals the witness, فَإِنَّهُ آسِمٌ قَلْبِي, then indeed his heart is sinful. Wallahu, and Allah, bima ta'maluna alim, and Allah knows each everything what you are doing. So we understand from this ayat three things. The first one is wa in kuntum ala safarin walam tajidu katiban farihanum makbuda. So the first part of the ayat, this tells us that when we are on a journey, and if our money or resources run short of the things, all our resources we have like run short of, or we have been stolen, or something have been stolen from us, and we are unable to move because we have no resources, no money, nothing at all, and we need it now on the journey when we are, and at that time we need loan or from someone, so that someone should give some money so we can move forward then. So in order to get money from other people, so we have now the first option that Allah told us, that you have to pledge in hand some of your valuable and get cash in place of that. And then you have to use it and fulfill your need. And when you go to your home, or when you are satisfied, then you get money also, then you have to pay back and take your valuable back. So that is expressed in the first part of the ayat. Some people, like, they have the wrist watch, that is costly sometimes, so valuable thing, so they have to leave it to someone and take some cash and fulfill the needs of their journey, and when they come back, then they have to collect so much money, then they have to go back to give that money to the person. From that person they got money, so they have to give it back, and the person return the valuable, like wrist watch, to that person also. Similarly, you can give any valuable in order to get the cash or money that you need. So this type of situation, if possible, during the journey, you are allowed to do that one. So Allah said, because mostly it is like situation that the people who are just to give you money, they are not to write the deed or write the document, they just only want to give you. But some people, they want to write, no problem, if there is chances, then you have to write down also, and that you have given you are valuable to that person, and that person has given so much money, and you have to give it back when you will be in home. And then you will write down on a paper, then when you come back and you say, look, this on that date you gave me money and I gave you my valuable, and please give me back my valuable and take your money back, and that person will give you back your valuable, and you will get that one, and he will get his cash back, and then the situation will be all right. So this is the situation which is expressed in this ayat, the first part that we have to do. So the main thing is that the something which is pledged by someone, so that the person who is keeping that one, he is not the owner of that. Actually, owner of that thing is the real owner, who has given it to that person just for the time being, and then he has to keep it honestly, and then he has to give it back to the owner also. So so this way, for example, I can give you one example of the cow. For example, cow, if the cow is belongs to one person, and that person is just to give it to someone and take cash from that person, and so the person comes after 2 days, so but the cow dies. So the death of the cow, who will be responsible for the loss of it? So the person who is the real owner, so he will afford the loss of that, because he is the owner of the cow. The second is that one, that if this cow has been stolen, then who is the loss will go to the owner also, not to the person who pledged it. Similarly, if the cow it was pregnant and the birth of a new child of cow, and the baby cow, the calf, so if that has been done, then the calf and the cow both belongs to the owner, not to the person who pledged it. So this is according to Islam, as the Holy Prophet ﷺ said in hadith that revealed by Sa'id bin Musayyib radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and that is in Muslim. And Prophet ﷺ said that the person who has to keep something in pledging, so he is not the owner of that one. He can only have a benefit, but the thing belongs to that person who is the real owner. Because how can he get benefit? Like for example, cow, and he will give the grass and feed to the cow, and in exchange of that one, he will take the milk of the cow. Like this is allowed for the person who pledged the cow. Like he will give the grass and food and water to the cow, and in exchange of that, he will get the milk of the cow, but the cow will be under the custody of that person, and he will not be the owner of that, and he is only to take the milk, and when he is just to give the food to that cow, so that is allowed also. Similarly, if a person is just to give his horse or donkey to someone as a pledging, so the person who pledged the donkey or the horse, so because that person is giving grass or food to the donkey or the horse, then that person is allowed to ride on it, but that person is not the owner. The person who pledged is not owner. The grass, the horse, and the monkey and the donkey, they will be under the custody of that person unless the person who is real owner, he will come back, he will give money back to that person, and that he will get the animals back. So that is Islamic point of view. Like in one other hadith, the Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he revealed that the person who has pledged the animals, he is allowed to take the milk of them in exchange of the expenses what he has done, like the food to the animals like this. And similarly, he can also ride on the animals also, because he is bearing the expenses of the animals also, like food and other things. He has to afford that one. So in order to exchange all that, so he has to take the ride or the milk of those animals allowed, but he is not the owner, because the person who pledged the animals, he is not the owner, but he can take the benefit of those animals in exchange of the food and other things what he is serving the animals. So he can take the milk, he can take the ride on the animals, like if they are horse or donkey. But if that is a milking animal like a buffalo or cow or goat, then he can take the milk of that one. So because he is giving them the food like grass and water and all these things, so this way he can take it, but he is not the owner of that. So this hadith is in Bukhari also. So this is the important point what we got from here, that actually the person who is just to keep the thing, who pledge the things, he is not the owner, but owner stay the same, who is the real owner. He is just to take it up to the time until the person who is owner, he is coming back to pay him back and take the animals or take the valuables back. So this is in the first part of the ayat is explained. And the second part of the ayat we read, this is فَإِنْ آمِنَا بَعْدُكُمْ بَعْدًا فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي تُؤْمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّهُ. The second part of this ayat, it tells us that when you are on a journey and you request, because you run short of money and you have problem, and you or some, maybe your money has been stolen or something happened to you, and you request someone that the person gave you money so that you can reach at your destination. But the person, he is not to say about the pledging of anything, any valuable of you, but he can trust in you, and just having trust, he can give you some money. And according to Islamic point of view, that is explained in this ayat, that you have to go back to the person, pay back whatever he gave you that, and so you have to pay it back, and must have the fear of Allah, that you must keep sometime, because the people, they forget, they are not to pay back, and Allah said that they have in mind the fear of Allah, because at the day of judgment they have to pay it back there if they are not to pay it here. So this way we have to look at the message in this ayat, that those people, they have to pay it back to that person, and because that person has given them the money when they were in a need during the journey, and they entrusted in that person. So this way these people should have to fulfill the trust and pay back to that person also. So that is explained in the second part of the ayat, Allah tells us. And the third part of the ayat about the witness, that is very important. Allah said in this that وَلَا تَكْتُمُ الشَّهَادَةَ, and you are not to conceal the evidence. وَمَنْ يَكْتُمْهَا, and whoever is to conceal the evidence, and فَإِنَّهُ آسِمٌ قَلْبُ, and his heart is sinful. So indeed his heart is sinful, because if a person who is just to conceal the evidence, his heart will be sinful also. So this way, according to this ayat and according to Sharia, when a person who is witness, when he is invited to express his witness, then if that time he should be ready to go, because if he is not to go, he will be sinful also. That is first thing, because it is compulsory for him to go to have a witness there, because that is wajib. Wajib is mean after farz. This is wajib, is very important. So when the witness people, they are called, they have to go and they have to express the reality, the truth there, the real witness, they have to explain there. So that is very important also. And in this situation, the person who called, who is the person really under this situation and who called for witness, that person is according to Sharia, he has to give them the traveling expenses and also food. So there is only these things are needed. But the person who has gone to the witness, he is not to say about the money. He can't say that I came to you, my whole day has been finished, now please give me the whole day my earning and give me so much and something like that. So he can't say. The person who is witness, who has gone for witness, he never asks. According to Sharia, he is not allowed to say about anything. He can only be given the traveling expenses and food only, just like that. So this is in Islam. So this way. And the other thing is, because the Prophet ﷺ also said that the heart of a person is the main thing, because Allah is not to look at your body, but Allah is just to look at your heart. And if your heart is good, because in one hadith that is in Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ said that behold, look, in your body there is a piece of the flesh. When it is all right, then whole body is all right. When it is disturbed, then whole body is disturbed. And what is that? That is only heart. So heart is very important, but in this ayat Allah said that فَإِنَّهُ آسِمٌ قَلْبُ, and the person who has to hide the witness, and that person's heart is sinful, filthy, and so this way his heart is not good. Filthy heart is not in a position to get the concentration and love of Allah, and Allah is not too happy not to look at that person, because Allah is just look at the heart, but heart of the person is not good because it is filthy, it is sinful, because of the person who has not explained the truth of the witness. So that person who concealed the witness, so that person is sinful. His heart is black now, because in one hadith that is in Muslim, Prophet ﷺ said, when a person is just to do evil practice, then one black spot comes on the heart. When a person is doing the other sinful thing, then other spot comes. So this way, if the person is not to do tawbah, astaghfar, then his heart becomes so much black. But you can see in this situation, when a person is just to conceal the witness and not to express the reality of the witness, and he has to hide the reality and tell something wrong, so that person's heart becomes totally black. And then this person's in his heart there are only sinful things come, and in his intention the bad things comes, and his ideas are changed, and the love of Allah and love of Islam finish from that person also. And that person is like that person whose whole heart is away from the guidance of Islam. So that person is under trouble then. So this way we have to tell the truth. Whatever we have the witness, we have to express it completely honestly. So that is the message here. And because Wallahu bima ta'maluna alim, and Allah is watching, Allah knows whatever we are doing. So everything is before Allah. Allah knows everything of us. So we must be careful in our daily life. Whatever we do in our life, we have to look after our each step, our each movement, each working, and even we have to look all the ideas that come in our mind, and we are look the ideas. If those are bad, then we have to leave them. Any idea which is good, we have to make into practice and be a fear of Allah, and must have love of Allah, and think that Allah is happy with us if we are doing the good things. And we request Allah to help us to make our life good in this world and hereafter. Inshallah. Ameen.